Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Anime Daddy. I'm back for another JJK chapter review. Now, this is a big one. Domain battles. We're gonna see something that's gonna happen. Gege came back from the break with a banger, basically. So let's just start off with the start, and we get a flashback from like what Tengen and Yuki were talking about, basically planning this engagement. And they're saying like dismantle his domain. Tengen says that the goal for Kenjaku is to get to the Tomb of the Star. He wants to get to his main body, and like you two, as in Choso and Yuki, will have to take him on in the room of interconnecting mazes, and that's directly above his like main body. So we get to see a layout of like this sort of place, and we see Jujutsu Tech is on the top. The warehouse for all the cursed like tools and stuff is next, and then under that is the interconnecting mazes and stuff. But also it says like underneath it says the translator note, kanji is maze, but the furigana reads barrier. So you can also say like in a room of interconnecting barriers. And then we see the Tomb of the Stars right underneath the place where like all of the people are fighting right now. And sort of this gives us a better layout of like what is actually happening and where we are, because like this like the stuff like in the last chapter was super confusing, and this basically means that we just have a room of interconnecting barriers that goes on endlessly. Shout out TCB, GOATs, as per usual. We get to see amazing panel of Yuki right away. Gotta shout that out. I love this. But yeah, it's the Sunyata barrier. And that means, like it says right here, translator note, underneath it, it's a Buddhist concept of emptiness. And like all things are made out of it. But Tengen says like, anybody who's skilled enough with barrier techniques will be able to do whatever they want in here, basically. Like, they'll be able to configure the structure. They'll be able to make a theater. He says Kenjaku will be able to make a theater here if he wants. And Yuki's like, ain't that bad? But Tengen's like, the important thing is that he thinks that he's in control. Like, we want him to sort of be cocky in this engagement. And that's like how we'll be able to get him. Tengen says like the barrier, the Sunyata barrier, is his. So he'll be able to like configure it himself in ways that will be able to like, you know, sort of neutralize his domain. Because we see right here, like as the owner of the dome, like the barriers and like everything within it, I can see and like feel. He can analyze the domain that Kenjaku places out, and he'll be able to like insert things into his own barriers that will like neutralize Kenjaku's barrier, or at least stop its effects or halt its effects. Like it's sort of more clear later on, but like yeah, Gege is going crazy. Like this just reminds me of Hunter x Hunter. So much text, but it's got to be used because we have insane action. But Yuki says, I don't know what you're talking about, but we can negate his domain. Tengen says yes, but he needs 10 seconds. Like, so yeah, Yuki has to fight for a little bit. She says, so I'm going to have to use a simple domain or something to like fight him off. She is like, wait. If I expand my like domain first, he'll expand it second. So wouldn't that be faster? But this is like basically Gege just debunking all of the people saying, you know, why didn't they do this? But if Yuki expands her domain first, it will be on the outside, and Kenjaku's will expand on the inside of that. So Yuki's domain will be the first one that'll be erased or be able to like be negated. Tengen also says that he could counter your domain with a simple domain or even a hollow wicker basket technique, because he probably knows that. Of course he does. But Yuki's like, yo, those are like so simple tactics. Like, am I being underestimated? But obviously he's Kenjaku and he is built different, so those techniques are even stronger than they would like be normally. So we're back at, you know, we have to get him to expand his domain, and then his curse technique will be sort of burnt up after that, and we can beat him up. But miscalculation, that's what it says at the bottom. We have a miscalculation, but we get the domain expansion. I can't say the word that well. So we get a reveal of what the domain is, and it's one like Sukuna's. And it's one like it's the same thing sort of that like happened in Shibuya, where there's no barrier on the outside, and the curse like ability is sort of happening at the same time as it's expanding out. So like we see down here, like the exterior that needs to be dismantled doesn't exist. So like there's no barrier on the outside of Sukuna's domain because it was getting dismantled. But we see Yuki, she does a new shadow style. like simple domain. And every time we see people do that, they always go down to this crouch, like, and it looks like they're holding a sword. Like Yuki doesn't have a sword, but maybe that's just how you do it and how she trained to do it. So Yuki's like taking a lot of like, she's getting hit by this domain, and she's like, yo, this is strong. But like, my simple domain is about to be ripped apart. And Kenjaku's like, you really think something like that could withstand my domain? Yuki dashes towards Kenjaku, and she's like, hurry up, Tengen. Like, I need to get to him because, you know, we see right here that it's sort of like dismantling on the bottom. But Kenjaku says, oh, I see what you're doing. This is some outdated strategy. Like, of course, I'd expect it from some old man like you, or old woman. But Tengen, he's doing these Naruto hand signs, and he says, he's like, treating the edge of the sure hit effects range as the exterior. It's within his sunyata barrier, and he's going to erase the effect of the sure hit. Hey guys, if you like the video and want to get updated on JJK every week, just like and subscribe. Back to the video. Kenjaku says, I'm not the same as you, Tengen. I'm built different, bro. He says he's lived through, and we cut to Yuki. She's still running, and her simple domain is like almost gone. And she's like, oh fuck, it's almost gone. But then Kenjaku says, yo, I've lived through the 1,000-year tug-of-war battle between giants, the capricious alliances and betrayals of the world of curses. Oh my god. I love how he's like, he always talks about like this world of curses, or like, let's curse each other and stuff like that. But it's like, he's about to attack. And we see Yuki's face, and is she attacking? We see a big explosion. And then it works, basically, from what we're hearing. He says, like, you dismantled my domain along with the barrier. Like, you're really stubborn as you are old. Like, Kenjaku's like, he's a little bit pissed. But it doesn't matter, because he says, you're already too late. And it seems like this panel up here was Yuki getting hit by some gravity, because you can see Kenjaku, it looks like he's doing this. It looks like he's punching down. And you see gravity going downwards or something, and it looks like she's getting pulled down. But we see the full effects of this shot, and you can see her arm is sort of like gone on the side. Or like, it reminds me of Miriko's in My Hero Academia in the newest season, what happened to her arm. Kenjaku goes on one of his monologues. He's like, you know, at least you should have used your domain against me. And like, it wouldn't have been boring. It's your fault for trusting that thing. And it says here another note. It says Tengen in the kanji, but in the furigana, it reads that. So they're translating as that thing. But he says Tengen has been keeping something important from you, and he is about to reveal the culling game. And then boom, we get some. So hold up. Tengen's been, so he has his own, or she has his own motivations or ulterior motives. And it's really interesting because they must have a plan for the culling game too. So Kenjaku is about to just reveal it because, you know, he's probably confident enough that he's going to kill Yuki here. But we get to see this, her Shinigami is floating and she's up, ready to fight. And some attacks start coming, and Kenjaku's like, yo, she's not able to move freely. Like, she must be using reverse curse technique, so like buying time to get reverse curse technique. Kenjaku's like, that's fine. I'll build my own curse techniques to back up because I use my domain. But no, Yuki comes right at him, not healing at all, and you see her arm. It's like contorted. But she goes in for a big kick. So after this kick, Kenjaku's like, yo, heal yourself. And she's like, nah. And this gives me like major Miriko vibes. Just cause like, you know, badass woman who's just gonna fight through pain. And like we see hands are being thrown. She's taking some chops and they're going at each other right now. Awesome choreography as usual. Like Gege can draw impact better than almost anybody. Like you can really feel when somebody gets hit in his manga, especially like a big punch to the gut. Like I don't know how he draws it. It's just amazing. I love Gege's his art style too. It lends so well to high octane fights like these. But we get to see like she is hurt. Yuki is hurt. Kenjaku's like, oh, she's at her limit, and he's getting like cocky. He's like, oh, she's done. I think it's time for me to wrap this shit up. And Yuki says, yo, did you forget? I like a man who's hardworking and muddy. And we get to see Choso pop out. And it says an older brother lies in ambush. He aims to attack with determination. Break next week. Damn. But either way, great chapter. We just see that the translation actually says from in the notes, it says she likes a man that smells like mud, and it describes an uncharismatic man who still works hard to do good, similar to like a country boy, unrefined countryman, something like that. So Yuki just likes like men that just go and do their shit, get their shit done, and Choso's a goat, bro. But I love this little, we're at the end of the color page, great color page, awesome. Jackie Pop. Perfect. I like the red background too. But either way, great chapter. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Is Choso gonna get an actual hit out on Kenjaku after getting floored, flattened, and destroyed? I'm not really sure. I hope so. I need to see some redemption for my boy. And let's hope Yuki has reverse curse technique so she can heal up that beautiful face again. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and peace.